for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team. Brandon Godden.
As you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Throwing on first down. Knight. Throw left side complete. That's Simmons. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
The penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Looking to throw. Knight. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Knight being chased out left. Now he'll let it go. He's got a man. Complete. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake. Knight. Baldwin with it over the middle. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, Did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short.
Leopard, gone!
Back to throw. Knight. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The first carry for Josh Adams. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding. Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They run the counter. Adams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go. Green 30.
On second down, Adams. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this game, has got to be priority one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. They'll run it here with Adams. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down now, Adams fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Oh, nice move at midfield. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers...
That's caught inside the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good. By Crosby. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of them at all so far. They've stacked them up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to them, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Clay Matthews coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line.
Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
No. Check. Patriots. Detroit.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. From the gun, Knight. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Here we go now.
On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bud Dupree coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. This is taken at about the 14. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. You know, when we talk about wide receivers and how you should.
It really changes what you're trying to do because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts. Okay, how are we going to cover them? The running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker cover him, cornerback cover him, safety covering him. Always has the advantage, usually has final answer against anyone who tries to defend them. Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a long... loss of a yard there, and now second down. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Looking to throw. Knight. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Mike Bennett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Buying time to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The Lions move there, look like nobody open, now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Look to throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Good. Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now it's Haas play. Here's Adams. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming
Illegal
back.
block in the back. Offense.
Now, Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start. Offense.
You expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Arnold. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
First try for the right arm of Dalton here. And his first throw here is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Andy Dalton. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move him into a 3rd and 13 here.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Passing. It's Dalton. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now a first carry for their fullback.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely picked his lane, went with it, and converted. He'll get it up the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Escaping. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards and take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution? Of that defense right there. The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there was a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They start on the ground with Adams. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Encroachment. Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Gregory. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now back to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Looking sideline, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this throw will be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down.
All right, here we go. Green.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. 31-12 was the final. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. 17-10, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Play fake here on first down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, 54 yards. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Hauschka with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 56 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Broken tackle. This one out to the 27. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Parker. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Over here, over here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, 4 down. All right, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
Watch it now, Barney.
Johnson on the counter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. From back at the 8 now after the false start, another try at 1st and goal.
Set. Green, 39.
And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. That false start knocks him back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. tries motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Watch it now, Barney, 40. Hurry up, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll drop to throw, and that'll be incomplete. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal.
Watch that in. Key the tight end. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Now those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
All I remember from my experience as a defender, when the big fella gets the football, you've got to get on him early before he gets a chance to get up ahead of steam, because once he does that, he's going to leave a lot of tacklers in his wake.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. So Dalton now. He's going to fire one deep. Middle, and this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Throwing, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Dalton throwing on second down. And the pressure gets to him again. Robert Kimdichie in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. Muscles him off. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. Someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him, man.
Throw left side complete. That's Gregory. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to sling this deep. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But To be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off a big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week one, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Go, on the ball! On the ball! Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
A first down carry for Henry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And he's got the first down here and then some, but a penalty flag down. This could very well be coming back.
Offense.
They go play action here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
No, Jack, Patriot! Set, blue, landed!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gregory. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
And motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And now movement
Green,
again,
39.
and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Set, 319. 319.
They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now to return, this is David Johnson. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through the...
And he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Easy.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Tighten up. Rush in. Sponge. No.
on first down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Go, on the ball! On the ball! Over here, over here! You're good.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
And now to the air, Dalton. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers continue to roll. Turning into a really good performance on the road, week 1. You're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now here's Johnson. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself second-play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Back to throw now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Gregory. And he's taken down inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Chris Long. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Nice.
Dalton, first and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Dalton. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Fast it. 368. Lady.
Second down, Dalton. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Michael Bannon in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Green Bay, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll